Hey Drifters, DoriJunkie here, back with another DoriJunkie's car review, and this time it's the Phoenix NX. It's a tier 2 car based on the 180SX in real life. It cost about 150 gold to buy, and of course you couldn't have a drifting game without it. So let's see how it goes on my rating system. Just a quick refresh on how that works. Starting off customization, body kits are worth 1, body styles worth 2, ease of tuning's out of 10. I'll be running the stock motor, all the swaps, giving the stock motor and the best swap a score out of 10 for a combination of 20 for a grand total overall. So first up is customization. Like I said, body kits are worth 1, body styles are worth 2. Now with the 180SX, it's a very recognisable car, the 240SX in America, but everywhere else it's called the 180SX. Has a lot of parts out there, so you expect it to have a few body kits, as it does. Going through the slide performance, this is the first one. It's a very RPS Type X body kit, very factory style Type X kit. Go down to the missile, and it's very race inspired. Very big, low to the ground, big air intakes. Onto the CBW, very street style body kit. Very big bumper on it, rear bumper. Very low to the ground. Now the street style body kit, this actually has the S15 front end, so I'll count this as a style, not just a body kit, because it does change part of the car dramatically. The R&T, very track inspired body kit, big over fenders, rear diffuser, big front diffuser. D-Master, this one again, it has the S13 front end, turning it into a SIL 80. So I'll count this one as a style as also. And down to the Pro Flow, which is very race inspired as well. Big pump guards, big vented bonnet, not a bad looking kit at all. Alright, so what did I do with mine? Gone with the Pro Flow body kit and all out on a custom livery, just to make it my own. A JDM inspired livery. It's not based on any car in particular, just a few ideas I liked from different cars, mixed it in together, and that's what I've come up with. That's how you find a lot of these interesting vinyls. Just go online and find them. Right, to tally it up, customization. Like I said, the 2 body kits there which change the style of the car, so I'll class them as a style. They get 2 points each. We've got a total of 9, which is pretty high, but being the 180SX, which is heavily involved in drifting around the world, there is a lot of aftermarket parts for it, so you'd expect it to score high there. On to ease of tuning. This is how well it drifts, pro drift free, how they give it to you, and how many modifications I have to make to it to get it to drift comfortably around the track. And like I said, this is how you get it pro drift free once you finally get it enough money saved up to modify it here. These are the settings, exactly how they give it to you. I'll give it a quick run now. We'll go through it. Straight away, the gears are really fast. First, second, third are really fast. Fourth, a bit lazy. Dare I try fifth? Well, it's not the greatest. I'm going to really work it a bit to stop it. Oh, yep, she wants to come around on me. But yeah, fifth is nothing at all, basically. It's just got no wheel speed in fifth at all to hold a drift, no. So there's a few settings straight away I'd like to change. First of all is the engine, of course. Always give it that extra power. Helps to spin the tyres a lot easier. And it was the wheel size and tyre size, tyre profile, wheel size, and tyre pressure. Because I did try running this car on sports and semi-slicks tyres. I find it works best on street tyres. Just doesn't have the torque to really spin the slicks. It goes okay on sports tyres, but it just drifts a lot freer on street tyres. And even with those slight modifications, it's not perfect. I'd still probably have to make a few more modifications to get it to drift comfortably around the track. But we'll get there. Like I said, it's a couple more modifications. That's suspension. Just where we'll work the gears, diff all the way up, gear shift delay all the way down. I'll just fiddle quickly. I won't fiddle too much. I'll just do a quick run and that should be enough to maybe be a bit more confident, get the wheel speed matched correctly. The gears are better. Still, probably the Ackerman angle needs to be turned down. Like I said, and if you did do your suspension and all the rest of it, it is quite a competitive drifter on street tyres. Like I said, you can try sport tyres, but I prefer the street tyres on this car. It just makes it drift a bit freer. It's not a bad car, it still needs you, the Ackerman angle's a bit high. Turn it down, and like I said, if you did work the suspension just a little bit stiffer and raise the height. Apart from that, it's not a bad car at all. It is only tier 2, so it's not going to break any records, but it's not a bad car at all. So ease of tuning, it's pro drift free. You're not going to just go out there and drift it pro drift free. You do have to make some modifications, and you will have to go backwards and forwards a bit. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's not hard, but there will be a bit of back and forwards to get this thing spot on. Moving on to performance, I'll be running the stock motor and all the swaps, and I'll be combining the best swap and the stock motor totals for a combination total out of 20. Again, Springstone, 19k 10 points, 18k 9 points, all the way down to 11k 2 points and 10k for 1 point. We'll move on. Stock motor first. We got 528 horsepower, 539 newton meters of torque, a 3.9 0 to 60, and a mass of 1122 kilos. So they're not groundbreaking figures, but they're enough to get it going. Like I said, on street tyres, it's quite the agile drifter. Like I said, I did try sports tyres and semi-slick tyres, but the street tyres were the highest scorers for it. So on to the 3.8 litre swap. It's got 872 horsepower, 871 newton meters of torque, 3.1 0 to 60, and 1150 kilos. So a little bit heavier than the stock tune, but a lot more horsepower and torque. 318 is almost a 19,000 point run there. I did expect it to score high, and it did. The 3.8 litre swap in any cars is a really good swap. So onto the 3 litre swap. 811 horsepower, 915 newton meters of torque. Again, 3.10 to 60, 1200 kilos. A little bit heavier than the 3.8 litre, but it's got the torque to make up for it. But it does have a lot less horsepower. Let's see how this one goes. Quite as high as the 3.8 litre, but still it's up there. It's not bad at all, just a little bit off. Like I said, it does miss a lot of horsepower and it does weigh a bit more, but the extra torque sort of balances it out a bit. So we'll move on to the 6.2 litre swap. 865 horsepower, 864 newton meters of torque, 1150 kilos, so the lightest one of the swaps, and again 3.10 to 60. So we should be expecting big numbers out of this one. Scored 10 points. I expected it to score high, and it has delivered with a 10-point run. Can't ask for more than that. So moving on, performance stock motor 15,119, 3.8 18,663, 3 litre 18,288, 6.2 19,247. So we'll take the stock motor and the 6.2. We'll give the stock motor a 6 out of 10, a 6.2 a 10 out of 10, for a combined total of 16 out of 20, which is pretty high, pretty good. Can't really ask for much more from the swaps. The stock motor, like I said, it's only a tier 2 car, so it wasn't going to score the highest, but it's still done pretty well in my opinion. So moving on to the results. Customization, got a 9, ease of tuning, got a 7, performance 16, for a total of 32, which is fairly high. It's pretty good. It was always going to score high, I suppose, being the 180SX. You can't really have a drift game without it. So there was no surprise there. It scored high in customization, ease of tuning, and there, like I said, if the stock motor was a little bit better, but being a tier 2 car, that's about the best you'll get. So moving on to the leaderboard. I've got the drift points leaderboard here, the blackjack on top, and the Phoenix moves in the number 2 spot there, kicking the Hachiroki down the number 3. And overall, it's number 3 with 32, with the Patron GT and the Spectre RS above it. But it's not too bad. So that basically brings us to the end of this car review. I hope you guys like it, and like always, I'm DoriJunkie, and I'll catch you on the track.